Have you found yourself feeling overwhelmed or maybe even a little bit burnt out lately? Most people will wait until January to reset, but what if you did it now? The journal prompts that I'm about to share with you will walk you through an autumn head start, helping you to reprioritize, rekindle your motivation, and find more time in your busy schedule for you. Know how it feels when life is too fast and too full. And right now is the perfect time of year for a reset. What's happening in nature, the leaves all falling, plants growing more slowly, and the shorter days. If you lean into this fall energy, you'll feel really good about slowing down, letting go of excess in your life, and getting reorganized, resetting. Prompts for today are just a few of the ones that you'll find in my downloadable Autumn Reflections 75 Cozy Prompts for Intentional Living. My work for the last 5 years has been creating seasonal journals to help people really reconnect with the rhythms in nature as well as with themselves. So let's dig in. Now, this first prompt may sound a little bit familiar, but we are going to take it to a deeper level than is typically done. So the prompt is, what can I let go of this season? Physically, mentally, and emotionally. Now, this is probably the most important question to ask yourself for a reset. And that's because it creates the space that's really needed for things to change. When you think about the physical portion of this question, I want you to think past the decluttering and really focus on the life clutter that you can release. What are the things that take up your time that feel like a waste of time to you? Because this is such an important exercise, I actually have another full video dedicated on how to decide what to let go of. It's called an Autumn Personal Growth Exercise, the art of letting go. So if you want to really dive deep into this question and get the most from this prompt, this video can help. Now, with respect to letting go of mental and emotional clutter, that's honestly easier said than done. It usually takes a little bit more than an intention to fully release what's going on in your head and in your heart. But just go ahead and write down whatever comes up for you anyway. And then if you find something difficult to release, I've got a few more resources that I'll share that may help. You can also always message me or send me an email. I've been coaching people for over 2 decades now. And honestly, sometimes it just takes a new mental tool or a different perspective. Let's talk about a couple of the types of emotional clutter. For these, my suggestion is to recognize what's outside of your control and then make a strong commitment to remind yourself of this fact, as well as an intention to shift your attention elsewhere each time the worry pops up. I mean, literally, physically shift your focus to something else, whether it's something that's happening around you or whether you're doing something that requires your focused attention. The goal here is really to disrupt that thought loop. And you may have to keep shifting your focus, but that's okay. Just look at it like it's a weightlifting rep. Eventually, it gets easier. Another form of mental clutter is limiting beliefs. For this, go ahead and write down anything that your inner critic seems to bring up frequently. For releasing these, I've got a blog post called Shattering Limiting Beliefs, and it walks you through a process that you can use to handle these. Releasing emotions may be the hardest part of this first prompt, but it's also the most freeing. Sometimes unpleasant emotions indicate that there's some level of forgiveness that may be helpful. If this happens to resonate with you, my blog post, 5 Steps to True Forgiveness, will be a good resource for you. And then another common emotion that can be really challenging to release is grief. This is a very personal process. However, there are commonly accepted stages of grief and things that you can do to help yourself get through it. So I'll link another blog post. The title for this one actually points to grief during COVID, but it's applicable to grief when you're trying to work through it at any time in your life. Now for a fun one. This next prompt is, what does a truly cozy and intentional life look like for me this season? This is one of my favorite prompts, and that's probably because it's less about doing and more about feeling. The word cozy, it's just all over the place in autumn, but it really means something different to everyone. So this prompt asks you to define this for yourself. It's an exercise in imagination. If you were going to live your absolute most coziest, soul-aligned life this fall, what would it actually look, sound, smell, and feel like? And I'd love to hear some of what you write down for this one in the comments. Get really specific here. What changes would you make in your home? After answering this prompt myself, I went on a quest to find the coziest feeling throw to snuggle up in on the couch. I have lots of throws, but none of them gave me that ultimate cozy comfort feeling. So this year I allowed myself to replace some of the ones that were sitting in the basket in the living room with one that actually gives me that true cozy up feeling. Also, think about what you would be doing. One of the things that I wrote down for this one was, it actually kind of surprised me, was learning how to make latte art. So I tried this yesterday, and it's definitely going to take some work and some time, but I think that it's going to be fun to learn how to do this. If you get stuck trying to think of what to write down for this prompt, one thing you can do is just search for cozy aesthetic, either in Pinterest or even just Googling it. I actually did this, and it really helped me to think outside what I normally would have written down. Thinking about this question, it's really powerful because it gives you a beautiful list and a vision to move toward. And once you have a clear picture of what you want, then you can start taking tiny steps to make what you wrote down an actual reality. Let's create some more time for this with our next prompt. And that is, how can I simplify my daily routines to create more space for peace and quiet? Simplifying is one of the best ways to create space for what matters most to you. Each time I think I can't possibly simplify more, I find more ways to do it. Even if you feel like you have to do everything that you're currently doing, it really is likely that you can find some ways to make life easier. To target this, think about where your typical stress points are in your day. When do you feel the most rushed or the most overwhelmed? What is one small thing that you could change to invite more calm? Maybe it's waking up just 10 minutes earlier to enjoy your coffee in silence in the morning. Perhaps it's deleting an app from your phone that you know steals your time and your peace. Tiny little changes like this, they can make a big impact. Here's an example from my own life. I keep a running list on my phone of things that I would like to read. And then when I would go to the library, I'd pull out my list and I'd search for a few of the books. Now I've simplified this process by letting the library do the searching for me now. Most libraries allow you to reserve books online. You just type in what you want at home, and then it's a quick pickup at the library when you get there. This has saved me quite a bit of time. One small act of simplification can save time and create more ease in your life. So what can you strip away that isn't essential in your life? Okay, our last prompt helps us to release one of the heaviest things we carry, and that's the weight of expectations of other people. What shoulds or external expectations can I release this fall? These are the shoulds that buzz around in the back of our minds, telling us how we're supposed to live and feel and act. Things like, I should be more productive. I should go to that event even though I am exhausted. I should have a nicer home. Often these shoulds don't even come from us. We pick them up from society, our family, or social media. And they create a gap between who we really are and this person that we think we're supposed to be. This is the place where anxiety and burnout thrive. In your journal, just go ahead and list all the shoulds that you can think of without judging yourself. Then for each one, ask yourself, is this what I want Or where is this coming from? When you shed these external expectations, they make room for your own genuine desires. And there you have it, prompts to guide you through a well-deserved autumn reset. We've let go, simplified, and made plans for this season. If you want more like this, remember to snag my full list of autumn journal prompts in the description. Thank you so much for taking this time to make your life better. Each time we do work like this, there is a ripple effect that's far beyond ourselves. I'd love to continue our conversation in the comments. Let me know what you feel most called to do differently this season. See you again soon.